Students, I hope you have your PIN number and personal number so you can access your results when they are released. If not, send me an email and I will send you your information. So when the results are released, you will see the first page that looks like this. And I want to highlight for you that this is not an official document. You cannot use it. And then looking at this person's results, they have 30 points. They've completed their CAS. They've been awarded their diploma. But as I mentioned in one of my earlier talks with you, what happens if this student needed 31 or 32 points for their university offer? Well, the first thing I would do is to contact the university. In my experience, if a student's only 1 or 2 points away, many times the universities will give an exception and admit you. I'll be happy to provide a letter to them, email, if necessary, but that would be the first step. If that doesn't work, then the next thing is to consider having one of your exams remarked. To do that, there's a detailed results page that you will have access to. And this page looks something like this. For this explanation, we're just going to be focusing on the last 4 columns, and more specifically, just the 3 higher level subjects. So we're going to look at the history, the French, and the English. Now, the final column, marks required, I want to remind you that these marks are not marks on the exam papers that you were writing. So just to take you back to one of my earlier presentations, remember that your marks from your exam papers are scaled to the final marks. And what this paper is talking about is those final marks. So while you may have been 9 marks away in your math studies, that could have been 12 to 15 marks actually on your exam papers. So looking at these last columns, your scale total is that total out of 100, depending on the marks you received on your exams. The boundaries between which a level 5 or level 4 achieved, and how many marks are required to reach that next grade. The IBs become much more consistent in its marking. And so when we look at these 3, the top one, English, being 7 marks away, I do not think that would change. If you requested a remark, I would not suggest it. The third one, the French, while they are 3 marks away, that's not bad. You did get 85 total, so there's only 15 marks that the examiner might have missed, and you need 3 of those. Not sure I would recommend that one, which leaves us with the history. You need 1 mark. There's about 50 marks to possibly get that 1 mark. I would be recommending you have that exam remarked. The IB says they get 1 to 3 weeks before they have to report back, and they just send me an email that says whether the exam mark was raised or lower. They won't tell me how many points you received or even lost, and it is possible to lose marks. Therefore, I have to have a signed consent from you or your parent to request the remark. That document is on ManageBack for you, and as well, you need to return that and pay for the remark fee before I can make the request. You do have time. September 15th is the deadline, although obviously if you're looking to get a university acceptance, you will want to request that as quickly as possible. My next example is a student, although they got 25 points, they did not receive their diploma. Why? Their higher levels were fewer than 12 points. To remind you, there are 9 failing conditions, and so we'll look at this one, which is that they have fewer than 12 marks. Right away, I would look at the detailed report, and unfortunately for this student, when I look at their 3 higher level subjects, they're significantly below that next required grade. So I would not be suggesting a remark, but that they actually resit the exams. If it's necessary to resit an exam, I'll be talking with you in more detail and discussing the arrangements for the exam. I hope this helps prepare you for when the results are released. I'll leave you with this final thought.